What is going on, beautiful people? It is I, and we're here today to talk about LS Mark, a fairly small but not inconsequential YouTuber. This man has recently made a video criticizing Butch Hartman. Now, Butch Hartman isn't just a large YouTuber, sitting at almost 800,000 subscribers. He's also the creator of a number of popular TV shows, most notably The Fairly OddParents and Danny Phantom. So when you make a video criticizing this guy, it needs to hit hard. The points need to be valid, the argument needs to be concise, and perhaps most importantly of all, there can't be any holes in said argument that can be used against you. Trust me, I know. However, judging by the title of this video, you've probably figured out by now that that isn't how things went down. So I'm going to be reviewing LS Mark's video on Butch Hartman, sharing my thoughts, what's wrong with it, and why. Let's get into it.
Hey Hart fans, Butch Hartman here, and today we're going to be drawing more YouTubers in Fairly OddParents style. Today we'll be doing PewDiePie, so yeah. And we're done. There we have it. There's PewDiePie in the Fairly OddParents style. There's PewDiePie. That's still relevant, right? People still call him a Nazi, yeah? People like that? Yeah, okay.
Now, already we have a major glaring problem. You're trying to portray Butch in such a way that reflects your personal image of him. Now, that itself isn't the problem. After all, that's kind of the goal with videos like this. But it's the way you do it. You can't just do a garbage imitation of someone doing something that pushes your agenda. It's lazy, insubstantial, and all it does is tell your viewers that you don't actually have good points to support what you're trying to sell them. If you need to exaggerate your portrayal of someone through imitation, it's usually because your points are weak and you need to feed your viewers artificial examples in order for them to even consider what you're saying. So basically propaganda. That's the punchline. You are literally feeding your viewers propaganda.
Do you understand that? Turn the freaking frog game! Serious crap!
Now, in your defense, you do bring up real points later in the video, but by then most people have clicked off because they don't think you have anything of substance to say. But if you really want to add in this propaganda, you should put it at the end of the video, after you've already convinced your audience. That way, people won't write it off as you being desperate. And this problem, you being desperate and not actually having sufficient ammo and proper points to support your claim, it's present throughout the rest of the video as well.
So in my Veil video I put Butch Hartman on my list of YouTubers I don't like, and unsurprisingly some people questioned this. And I did say that I could make a video about it, so yeah. This is that video. For a bit of warning, unlike my Veil video I probably won't be as aggressive, mostly because Butch doesn't anger me as much as him. Butch does seem like a really nice guy, he just pisses me off some of the things that he does. If you don't know who Butch Hartman is, well, what's wrong with you? He is the creator of your childhood. He's pretty much just the creator of The Fairly OddParents, Danny Phantom, a few things that nobody cares about, and a few things he'd like you to forget he did. Well, a few years ago, Butch decided to make a YouTube channel, and also unsurprisingly, it got very successful, sitting at around 700,000 subscribers. I'm not saying this is undeserved, although I think the amount of effort Butch himself puts into the videos may be low. I mean, Jesus, you're a quote-unquote animator, yet you have someone draw and animate your storytime videos? They're not horrendous or anything, they're just not for me.
Okay, so there's a big problem here that's apparent throughout the video, but first... Mate, what? Oh god, he's having someone animate his storytime videos for him. Oh man, next you'll tell me he actually pays the man, like some sort of employee. God, zero effort put into the videos, you're right, Mark, but Butch really is just the scum of the earth, isn't he? Also, real quick, excuse you, I care about Tough Puppy, that was a good show, I enjoyed Tough Puppy. Don't know about Bunsen is a Beast, but Tough Puppy, that was a good show. Not an amazing show, but a good show. Anyways, moving on to the real problem here. Now, I can't think of a better term for this, so I'll refer to it as the little bitch backstep. The little bitch backstep is when you make a point, and then immediately get cold feet, step back, and take back everything you just said, just claiming it doesn't matter. This is a video criticizing Butch Hartman. That means your job is to explain why his content is objectively bad. You can't just insult someone and then immediately take it back saying, Oh, it's not actually bad. I just personally don't like it. Moving on. That's called being a fucking pussy. If you're going to make the point, however stupid it may be, at least have the decency, no, just the self-respect to follow through with it. Not make that entire part of your video invalid by immediately backing off.
Butch fucking loves to clickbait. For as much as he made fun of Jake and Logan Paul for clickbaiting,
This is Jake Paul in the most dangerous day of his life. I'm delivering on the clickbait title just because, you know, he didn't. Okay, here we go.
he does it just as much.
You know, there's a lot of stuff out there in the vast world of the internet and on YouTube, you know, where people put these clickbaity titles up. You click on the video because the clickbait title looks great, and then what's in the title isn't on the video.
Okay, remember when I said Mark being desperate and lacking evidence to substantiate his claims is a problem that's present throughout the video? This is what I meant. You give us 7 videos which you claim to be clickbait, and you use that in an attempt to call Butch a hypocrite. And that would be a great point if any of these videos were actually clickbaits, which they're not. And I can tell you they're not because I wasted over an hour of my life watching all of these videos to individually judge them. And they all deliver on what the title and thumbnail promises. The only ones you can make an argument for being clickbait are It's Over and Fairly Odd Parents Cancelled. However, It's Over suggests something is ending, and the thumbnail has the whiteboard from all his videos. The video itself, Butch talking about, you guessed it, the whiteboard ending. As for Fairly Odd Parents Cancelled, you needn't look further than the rest of the title, Butch Hartman's Animated Life, which tells us it's a story time, which means it's referring to the times it got cancelled before, which, of course, the video was about. Now I know this point is dragging on a bit, but there's one very important detail I'd like to point out. Watch this clip again and tell me what's wrong with it.
Clickbaity titles up, you click on the video because the clickbait title looks great, and then what's in the title isn't on the video.
Did you figure it out? Look at the bottom of the thumbnails. The red line under the It's Over thumbnail shows how far in the video LS Mark got before he took the screenshot. And we know LS Mark took the screenshots because of the red bar on Fairly Odd Parents Cancelled is full, meaning he finished the video. And earlier in the video, we saw him recording the end of it.
I mean, Jesus, you're a quote-unquote animator, yet you have someone draw and animate your storytime videos?
So we know these are his screenshots. Now look at the rest of the videos.
Clickbaity titles up, you click on the video because the clickbait title looks great, and then what's in the title isn't on the video.
There's no red bar, which means he didn't even watch the videos. This fake-ass lying sack of shit is calling clickbait on videos he didn't watch.
The absolute epitome of this has to be the video he uploaded on New Year's. Ending my channel in 2017. He's got Sad Timmy in the thumbnail and everything. But what annoys me the most of his clickbait isn't even his fault really. Nobody ever gets mad at him for it. For the Ending My Channel video I mentioned, the comments are just filled with, "Wow, I just got clickbaited by my childhood hero, yes! I don't care if it's clickbait because it's Butch Hartman, fuck me, Butch!" Just because Butch is somewhat famous, I feel like that some people are afraid to criticize him for whatever reason, and just suck his dick no matter what he does, which I personally don't think is right. If Butch does something wrong, he deserves to be called out for it.
Okay, Mark, I'm gonna do my best to explain this to you. Maybe the reason no one's getting mad at Butch for this is because it just wasn't that bad. Seriously, it was a New Year's troll, and as I've proven, it's his only clickbait video. So forgive me for using the tired old words, it's just a prank, bro. But it's just a fucking prank, bro! Sure, maybe it's because he's famous, or maybe it's because it just wasn't as bad to everyone else as you think it was.
Maybe it's just you.
Butch, you're not hot shit. You only created 2 good shows, both of which got terrible after a few seasons when the original writers left, so I don't know how involved you were with making them any good.
Excuse you? Danny Phantom stayed consistently good all the way up to the series finale, and Fairly Odd Parents only started to show signs of decay at around season 7 or 8, which is quite respectable. What you just described is closer to the fate of SpongeBob than anything else. This has gotten to the point where it seems even you don't believe or care about what you're saying. If this video was anything more than just a desperate ploy for views, you would at the very least fact-check what you say, even for just a passing statement like this.
He seems to think he's the second coming of Christ. He acts like he hasn't made a bad show in his life. So, I'm sorry, Butch, you shouldn't be making videos about, oh, how I'd make Teen Titans Go better, and oh, the Teen Titans Go movie trailer was horrible. You can't say shit when you wrote Dougal.
I feel like I shouldn't need to explain why this is stupid, but I'll do it anyway. LS Mark, you're not hot shit. You've only got 12,000 subscribers, so what right do you have to criticize Butch Hartman, a man with almost 800,000 subscribers, who's more successful than you'll ever be? Yeah, that was really fucking stupid, wasn't it? Hate to break it to you, Mark, but that's not how criticism works. If it were, your entire video would be invalid, and not just because your points are garbage. Come to think of it, my entire video would be invalid because you're more successful than I am. But again, that's not how criticism works.
Gosh, the whole trailer is a fart joke? The whole trailer? I think it's a cheap, easy way to get a laugh.
Yeah, that joke was terrible, Butch. Glad you agree. I mean, you would never make the same joke, right? On a completely unrelated note, you know what was one of my favourite Fairly OddParents episodes when I was a kid? The Wishology. I'm actually going to rewatch it.
Captain Bubble Dance!
Wait, what is this? It's almost like Butch made the same fucking joke. It's even worse than the OddParents episode, in my opinion. I'm not saying you're not allowed to criticize anything, but at least make sure you're not criticizing a show for something that you yourself did in your show.
Okay, no. There are multiple problems here, but let's start with the biggest one. Mark tries to play the hypocrisy card, but it completely backfires. Why? Because in that very clip that he cut off, Butch actually admits that he made the same joke.
I know you're going to say, Butch, you've had fart jokes in your cartoons. I've had like 2, and we tried to make them as unusually, differently weird as possible, and I wasn't crazy about them anyway.
He acknowledges that it was a mistake. So no, your hypocrisy card does not work here. If anything, acknowledging that you made the same mistake makes you more qualified to criticize others for it. But of course you realize that people would call you out on this, so you put a tiny 2-second message in the corner of the screen saying even though he acknowledged and admitted this, it still, and I quote, doesn't excuse it. Actually, in terms of hypocrisy, it completely excuses it. You act like you made the discovery of a lifetime calling Butch out for hypocrisy, but you neglect to show your viewers that Butch himself is the one who told you. In short, you're a lying sack of shit.
Like I mentioned earlier, Butch acts like he hasn't made a bad show, which obviously is wrong, but the only time he's ever acknowledged something bad about one of his shows was in this video right here. Why Chloe was in the Fairly OddParents.
Well, the new episodes stink. They're so bad. Why did you add Sparky or why did you add Poof? It's like, listen, we had to do something. We had to add new characters to keep the show fresh. Why did you add Chloe? I can't believe you did that. Well, I added most of these characters because the network asked me to. And so to keep your job and to keep the show going, that's what happened.
Oh no, it's not my fault Chloe was in there. I just had to. The network demanded it. And yeah, okay, I believe that, but I doubt the network sat you down and said, listen, Butch, we love what you're doing, but your show's on its last legs. We think you should add in another main character. But I did that 3 times. Oh, just one more thing. We want you to make the character completely irritating and unlikable so that people will become so frustrated with her that they'd never watch the show again. What? You made a terrible character, just admit it. Don't pass the blame on to someone else just because you can't handle criticism.
Well, thanks for actually showing the full clip. Now I don't have to do any work in order to say that no, he's not blaming the network or anyone else for Chloe being garbage. He's simply explaining why he had to add her in to begin with. It's right there in the title. Can you read?
So this is also just a minor thing that only bothers me, but how many videos do you have to make about this show 10 years later? Let me guess, they're gonna look the exact same except they'll be really buff?
Okay, this isn't a very serious point, but no, that's not why the videos are so popular, and by extension why he keeps making them. Anyone can draw a buff Danny Phantom. The reason those videos are so popular is because of the lore Butch creates while drawing the characters. Okay, just wanted to clear that up. Moving on. Butch
Hartman is the dictionary definition of how do you do, fellow kids? He's constantly making, or I assume getting someone else to make him, unfunny memes that are way too old, and on top of this, he's always sucking the dicks of other YouTubers trying to look quote-unquote hip and cool. There's not really anything Butch can do to improve on this, it only really annoys me. I know lots of other people getting fucking hysterics when they see one of Butch's unfunny memes. So Butch, just keep doing what you're doing. People seem to like it, I guess.
Ah, here we see the return of the little bitch backstep. It's just this half insult. Yeah, you're unfunny. But other people, the other people find you funny, so ignore what I just said. In fact, what I said completely doesn't matter. Why did I say it in the first place then? Oh, well, that's easy, because I need this video to be 10 minutes long.
So yeah, I think Butch didn't want to make a YouTube channel for the fun of it. Like I said earlier, it seems like Butch realized television was dying, and so he wanted a presence on social media so that he could promote his new Noog network. Which is most likely the case actually, considering he left Nickelodeon recently. Butch, if you're watching this, which I highly doubt, these are just things that personally annoy me. You got lots of fans, so don't listen to what I say, I guess. You stay off your Noog network shit and I'll do what I do, and I'll never have to acknowledge your existence again.
Okay, so basically this entire video is one giant little bitch backstep. This is pretty much the entire video summarized.
Hey, Butch, you suck! You're a piece of shit! Your content is shit! You're a fucking hypocrite!
Oh, but by the same token, you know, everyone else loves you, and I'm the only one who's got a problem. So, just ignore me. In fact, after making this entire video insulting you, I'll make my final words, basically begging, pleading you not to respond or even acknowledge my existence in any way, because really, you shouldn't listen to what I have to say. Of course, I don't want to offend you in any way. This video is a mess. Nothing you say holds up. The logic that's supposed to tie it together is completely flawed. And worst of all, after you spend 10 minutes insulting the man, you basically take it all back, not even having the self-respect to follow through with your own video. At this point, I think it's safe to assume you don't actually care about criticizing Butch and just wanted to use his name for views and, by extension, ad revenue. Oh, and one more thing. Fucking mute Discord when you're recording your clips, dumbass!
They're so bad. Why did you add Sparky or why did you add Poof? Why? It's like, listen, we had to do something. We had to add new characters to keep the show fresh. Well, I added most of these characters because the network asked me to.
It's not difficult. Or better yet, just download the videos.